morning. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Asiba and this is Asiba's Place. I am a mother of 5. I am a military wife, and today I want to talk about just that. What is it like to actually be a military wife? I think a lot of times maybe we've watched TV shows or we have friends who have married into the military and we kind of have this romanticized idea of what it actually is like. And I just want to answer the question if maybe you're new or your husband is thinking of joining the military service. Just answer some questions and kind of give you an idea of what it's actually like to live this life. So my husband has been in the military for going on 14 years. He's in the Marine Corps and we've been married for 11 years. And in short, it is an adventure. As you may well know, you move all the time. Some people move every 2 years. Some families are lucky and they get to stay put in one place for up to 4 or 5 years. The longest we've ever lived at one duty station was 3.5 years. But other than that, it's usually pretty often. So it's true, more than likely you will be moving around quite a lot. And for some people, that's exciting. If you lived in the same place all your life, maybe you love the idea of being able to travel and see new states or even leave the country and see different parts of the world and live overseas. We've had the opportunity to do that, and it is incredible learning about different cultures and trying their food and just seeing the world from a different perspective outside of the United States. On the flip side, it can be difficult to kind of put down roots. As the old saying goes in the military, it's never saying goodbye when you have to leave, it's saying see you later. And I have had that opportunity to make friends with someone in California, only to meet up with them again in Japan because the military is that small. However, it can be really hard having to leave a community or a church or a certain neighborhood, just things that you've gotten used to over the years, finding new schools for your kids, finding new hobbies, things like that, depending on where you live in the world. It can definitely be a challenge as the family. Also, finding new schools for your kids. Maybe you're used to this really tight-knit community and everyone walks together to the bus stop and you guys chit-chat in the morning and have coffee. Then at your next duty station, there's only school drop-off. I've experienced that, and I don't have the opportunity to talk with mom friends or even make mom friends at the bus stop because we all drive our kids to school from home every single day. So those are silly, like kind of simple things, but they really do make a difference from one duty station to the next. Now, as you know, oftentimes service members have to leave. They have to go to training or deploy or school and be away from the family for an extended period of time. That can be very difficult, of course, on the service member, but I want to talk about the perspective of the family. So as the wife, when your husband leaves, you're left to kind of close in the gap. The things that he would normally do, now it's on you. You're solo parenting, basically. And that can definitely be hard. It's a challenge because you're holding down the fort, so to speak, but you also don't want to leave them completely out. I'm the wife who takes pictures and videos of everything because I want to include my husband. So while he's gone, I'm taking pictures of everything that happens. I'm video recording everything that my kids do and say. I take pictures of the meals that I make and say stuff like, I can't wait for you to come home and try this. Just to make him feel included. Not only that, but when he comes back, there's kind of a readjustment period. If you haven't seen your husband in 6 or 7 months, even if you've been in communication the entire time, your dynamic may have changed. You kind of have to reintegrate and get him back into the swing of things. You have to get used to maybe not having to do everything all the time. And that can also be difficult, but it's so sweet after they've been gone for so long, having them back again. It's the biggest relief. Another thing is understanding the lifestyle of service members. Of course, they're all individuals, but in becoming a United States service member, there is a process that kind of changes the person who they are. And if you knew your husband before he was in the military, it may be an adjustment seeing a different side of him, or seeing the newly found version of him after going to basic training, boot camp, or what have you. And like I said, I didn't know my husband before he joined the Marine Corps, but I know that there's a specific culture, there's certain traditions that are very important. If you've ever attended a military ball, there's just certain things that are really important and ingrained in the culture of the United States military. So he may have a slightly different personality at work than what you're used to seeing at home. And this isn't the case for everyone, but there is a certain, I don't want to say mask, but there's a certain shield, if you will. I don't know if that's the right word, but that they put on to go to work every single day. Even if he works in an office, my husband's a recruiter, he's in an air-conditioned office every day, but there's a certain demeanor that he has to put on every day to represent the United States military and to talk to the community about what all that entails. So no matter what your spouse's job is, he may have a different personality and a different demeanor outside of work than he has at home. And so he kind of has to learn to thread the needle and balance between who he is at work and who he is when he comes home. Maybe he talks different. Maybe his tone is more direct at work, and then when he comes home, he kind of softens it because we're his family, we're the ones who he loves. Maybe the way that he deals with decision making at work is very direct and demanding, whereas at home, maybe he's more likely to consult you, maybe not. So yeah, there are a lot of things that go into who he is outside of work versus who he is at home. And being the family, like, you are challenged to deal with that, and to just help him and love him when he comes home and he's making that adjustment every single day. Making friends in the military, I found, is really, really easy, because you all have so much in common. Like, you guys are likely not from the location, that's not your hometown where you're currently living. And if you live on a military installation, all the more so, you guys are kind of compacted in this system where you all go to the same school and have the same community, you live in a similar house. So I found that it's really simple to make friends as a military spouse if you live on a military installation. We currently do not live on a military installation, so I've had a difficult time making friends just because we don't have that common thread in this community. There's not a lot of young children, there's not even really a lot of families. It's kind of single people and roommates and stuff. I don't know, but that is something, definitely an advantage of living in a military community, because your neighbors, your co-workers, if you work, your fellow church members, they get it. They're all living a similar lifestyle, so you have a lot more in common than just in regular life. So another difficult thing about being in the military or being married to a service member is being away from your family. Depending on how close your relationship is with your parents, when you get married, you may still go visit them for the holidays, or you may still have Sunday dinner with them every single week, or maybe they pop in every once in a while and watch the kids so you and your husband can go out on a date. Well, if you move across the country, that is no longer an option, and it can be extremely difficult, especially if you have children, for them to forge a relationship with their grandparents being so far away from them. I had 2 children while we were overseas, so I mean, my parents made the choice to come out and visit us, but that's not always an option for families. So it can definitely be difficult spending time with your family, your parents, even your own siblings when you're separated by distance. But a lot of times, hopefully, your family is willing to make the sacrifice to come visit you, because I've found, and I'm sure a lot of service members and military families can relate, that when the holidays come, they want you to come to them, but there's so many different neighboring towns and houses and stuff, and it's hard to divvy up your time, as opposed to them coming to spend time with you and them traveling to come visit you. So that's definitely something that you have to deal with one way or another when it comes to spending time with your extended family and making sure your kids have a relationship with your parents and getting to see their cousins and spending time with your siblings, something that you have to deal with. But like I said in the beginning, it's definitely an adventure, getting to see different parts of the world and meeting different kinds of people, and just kind of readjusting and kind of reimagining each version of yourself and your family in different locations and in different situations throughout a service member's career. I personally love our life in the military. There's a lot of stress that comes with it, a lot of dealing with unknowns, but it is the most amazing opportunity that a very small percentage of families ever get to experience. And if you have the opportunity to join the military, or for your spouse to join the military, I think it's a great vocation. It's honorable, serving the country, making sacrifices, and still being a part of what made America great. We have a volunteer military and sacrifice so much and are given so many benefits along the way. I think it's incredible, and I wouldn't trade it any other way. I plan in the future to answer some other questions about living the lifestyle in the military, just because it's kind of like this unknown, like I said before, romanticized kind of life. But there are real aspects to it that I think a lot of people don't know about. And if you are new to this life, maybe you got on Google and you've been looking for communities and things to find, to make friends or to find out what it's really like, I'm happy to answer those questions. Since my husband's recruiting right now, he's talking to a lot of young couples, and the women are wondering, like, what is my life going to be like? Where are my children going to be born? How am I going to make friends? Where am I going to shop? Where are we going to buy food? Do I still work? Do I stay home? What do I do? And I have a lot of answers. In the last 11 years, I've come across a lot of information. So I would love to share my experience, and if you're interested in learning more about the military lifestyle with a little bit of homemaking motivation, I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel. Please like this video for more, and I will see you real soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.